fans, I'm Janelle Hernandez, here at the Joker Merchant Stadium, home of the Lakeland Flying Tigers. Let's take a look back at this season's highlights, including Opening Day, Pink in the Park, Armed Forces Day, and 4th of July.
The Lakeland Flying Tigers 2014 season opened on April 3rd and began what would be a record-setting season. The season opened with one of our many Thursday night festivals. This Thursday on April 3rd was our Taste of Lakeland event. Proceeds went to benefit the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, which helps to fund money for local culinary arts programs. Fans paid admission of $10 to get in to sample local cuisine from local restaurants. The event as a whole helped to raise just over $1,000 to support the culinary arts programs. Every year, the Lakeland Flying Tigers and the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida help to sponsor Little League teams. In 2014, the Flying Tigers helped to sponsor 14 Little League teams in the area, which helped to raise over $10,000 to these local Little League programs, which included teams such as North Lakeland Little League, the Mulberry-Dixie Youth, Lakeland City Baseball, and East Lakeland, to name a few. Every year, the teams begin their season with the Flying Tigers on opening day for a big on-field parade. The teams also get to host an end-of-season party with the Flying Tigers where they give out team trophies and recognition on the field. With April being Child Abuse Prevention Month, the Flying Tigers hosted their annual Pinwheels at the Park, which raises money and awareness for Heartland for Children. Heartland for Children raises awareness for abused and neglected children in the area. The pinwheels, which symbolize hope, health, and safety, and represents being a kid, were passed out to all kids entering the game. Kids were welcome onto the field for a pre-game ceremony and parade as they hosted up their pinwheels. The night itself helped to raise over $1,000 for the Heartland for Children Foundation. In addition to the parade and the fundraiser, many area organizations were on hand in the concourse to pass out literature and information to fans as they attended the game. On the outfield berm was a giant pinwheel created by Heartland for Children to raise awareness for their cause. Keeping with the tradition of our Thursday night festivals throughout the year, on April 10th, the Flying Tigers hosted their annual chili cook-off called Boots for Literacy. In a partnership with the Lakeland Fire Department and surrounding fire stations in the area, helped to raise money and awareness for the literacy councils and Reed Polk. With just over 8 teams preparing their own brand of chili, fans pay just $10 to enter through to the game and to sample all the chili they desired. Fans got to vote for their favorite chilies, and trophies were presented to the best chili. The night also had live music during the chili cook-off. This event helped to raise just over $2,500 for Reed Polk and area literacy programs. On April 12th, the Flying Tigers hosted their annual Pack the Park event, which benefits the local charity Kids Pack. Kids Pack, which raises money and awareness for children who go without food on the weekends. Kids Pack was out raising awareness with the help from local radio partners, 97 Country. Doing some on-air promotions helped to sell over 1,000 small Chef Boyardee food packages. The night featured plenty of fun for kids, including bounce houses, face painters, and balloon artists. The Flying Tigers players also wore orange jerseys during the game, which were then auctioned off following the game. The night as a whole helped to raise Kids Pack almost $18,000 in their initiative to make sure no kid goes hungry. The night also featured an Easter egg hunt for kids. As it was Easter weekend, kids got to come onto the field after the game for an Easter egg hunt, which featured over 30,000 Easter eggs. To wrap up what was a very busy April for the Flying Tigers, they hosted the 5th annual Pink at the Park event to benefit the Mary Kay Foundation, which raises money and awareness for cancers that affect women and shelter funding for domestic violence victims. The night as a whole helped to raise almost $10,000 for the Mary Kay Foundation in its 5th year. The Flying Tigers players donned their pink jerseys, which were auctioned to raise money and awareness for the foundation. What has become a staple for the Flying Tigers and the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida is our annual Education Days. Twice during the season, the Flying Tigers host these Education Days in partnership with local businesses. This season, on April 30th and May 8th, the Flying Tigers welcomed out over 60 schools to the ballpark. The Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida sponsors area 3rd graders as they come to a morning game. It's a very educational afternoon for the young kids as they receive a packet of information that helps to teach them fundamentals about baseball, even teaches them the distance between home plate and first base. With over 60 schools in attendance between the 2 days, the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida donated close to $18,000 to bring out area 3rd graders. On Saturday, May 18th, fans made their way to the ballpark very early in the morning for the annual Tiger Trot 5K and Run and Walk. With over 300 runners in attendance, the Lakeland Flying Tigers and Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida helped to raise almost $1,800 for the Ledger Media Group's Newspapers and Education program. Runners in their class received trophies and a free ticket to that evening's game. That evening game, of course, was the annual Armed Forces Day celebration. This annual celebration the Flying Tigers really love and enjoy as it pays homage to all of our active and retired military personnel. The evening started with local ROTC programs on the field. There was over 500 cadets in attendance on the field at one time. The area ROTC programs did a pass and review ceremony. They did a swearing-in ceremony for new recruits. The Flying Tigers also recognized past and active military personnel during the game. The Flying Tigers players wore their camo jerseys in recognition of the Armed Forces Day. All ROTC programs and cadets that were on hand received free lunch courtesy of the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida, as well as a free game ticket to enjoy that evening's game. And of course, all active and retired military personnel got admission to the game for free. As the month of May wrapped up for the Flying Tigers season, they hosted the Craft Beer Festival, benefiting local organization, the Early Learning Coalition. The Early Learning Coalition focuses on early education and focuses on care initiatives. Fans paid just $10 to get into the Craft Beer Festival. The $10 included a game ticket and admission to the Craft Beer Festival, where they got to sample a variety of craft beers. There was also live music, and the event helped to raise close to $1,000 for the Early Learning Coalition. As the month of July got started, it started off with a bang with our 4th of July celebration. The Flying Tigers players donned their red, white, and blue jerseys. With an annual tradition of hosting the 4th of July game, the Flying Tigers welcomed out once again all active and retired military personnel to the game. The night featured skydivers before the game, a dueling fireworks show following the game, and a live concert on the field. As the Flying Tigers season got into the later months, we hosted our annual Wing Ding competition, which benefits Campfire Sunshine Council. The Flying Tigers had on hand 12 restaurants, which provided fans with samples of their wings. Fans got to pay $10 to get admission into the Wing Ding. Fans also had a chance to vote on what they thought were the best wings. The restaurants in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place received trophies during the game. The Wing Ding event helped to raise $2,000 for Campfire Sunshine Council. In what had already been a very remarkable season for the Flying Tigers in 2014, the season wrapped up with our annual Kids Club autograph session. as all Flying Tigers players made their way to the concourse to meet and greet with all Kids Club members. Kids Club members, of course, received a free t-shirt, admission to every Saturday game, and the special invitation to the Flying Tigers autograph session where they got to meet and greet with the players. Among the variety of things that the Flying Tigers host throughout the year, and all the contributions that the Detroit Tigers Foundation of Florida makes, the Flying Tigers are very active within the community. Several of the things that the Flying Tigers did in help with the Florida State League and the Miami Marlins, which was present a scholarship to one of the Flying Tigers' very own employees. The Lakeland Flying Tigers are, of course, very active within the community, including contributions to local organizations. The Flying Tigers players also made visits to local hospitals. The Flying Tigers players and mascots also made several visits to local schools. And of course, what wouldn't be a fun day out at the ballpark without having a little fun with our Flying Tigers birthday parties, as kids get to celebrate their birthday and meet and greet with their favorite Flying Tigers players.